So the meeting is now open at 11:33. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Eric, I don't know if you can hear me, but oh, there we go. All right, I was going to tell you that you were muted.
Yeah, I don't know. We're on like a webinar or something.
So we're on our regular Zoom that we do through our town. Yeah, we can see you. Yep.
Yeah, it said I'm joining as a panelist for some reason. I don't know what the difference is.
We have you joined as a panelist.
Okay.
Yep. And yeah, so we should be all good. We're just and we're recording this meeting, so like we always do, because that way it will go right up onto the website when we get done. And so I'll just keep an eye on when Bill and Donna join us, and we'll add them in.
Actually, Bill informed me this morning that he woke up with a high fever and is under the weather, so he's not able to join. And at last I knew earlier this week, Donna is having some ongoing technical issues with her phone, which is her main means of joining. So I'm not sure, honestly, either one will be able to make it today.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fine. So we can just kind of have a conversation as to what's going on. I mean, if you want to bring George up to speed as to what we're looking to do with either one of them, that would kind of work.
Yeah. So George, I forget if you were part of the discussion last time, but we were actively looking at kind of updating our roster, so to speak, with regards to our committee members for this committee. I know that I think Luigi has not been able to be active with our group in recent months or recently. So, we were going to be getting a status or checking, on the intentions to continue or not with the committee on his part. And depending on the outcome of that, I had through my outreach with, community members in Littleton who have disabilities themselves, I have managed to, connect with two who are at least, um, uh, open to the idea or interested in, becoming an active member and lending their voices to what we do on this committee. So that's where that stands. I had hoped that both of those interested parties would be able to join us today, but things have worked out, so it doesn't look like they're going to be able to. But maybe next month. But I didn't know, Diane, if you have maybe an update on where we stand with our existing members.
Sure. So I had reached out to him, and then I reached, with the letter, and then last Friday I sent another email because I hadn't heard from him, and still nothing back. So I talked briefly to George yesterday, and he said that he believes that perhaps we should just move forward with, going to the select board and looking to have him removed, because it makes no sense to go forward any further, because we've done our due diligence in trying to be as mindful as humanly possible with everything that he's going through. But this board truly needs to have a quorum, and it's tough. The three of us are doing our best at what we're doing, and like Gary's he's away this week, and I understand that, but we need to get somebody else in. And so I reach out to the select board, come forward with it, explain it to them, and then say that we do have a couple of people that are interested. And even if we have one that steps up and look at an alternate or whatever. But yeah, I think that looks like we should probably ask the select board to take action.
I'm in favor of that.
Perfect. Sure. Thank you. All right. Have a great day.
So should we put a motion?
Yeah, so I think that we need to take a motion, as such to be able to rightfully do that.
So I'll move to petition the select board, for the removal of, Luigi as a committee member.
Second.
All those in favor? George,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Diane's and I, so it's unanimous. So I will, approach, Ryan and see when they can get that if they can get it onto the next select board meeting, and then we'll go forward from there.
Very good.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can we tentatively like send a letter to the two possible candidates there and let them know that either March or April that we probably would view with them so that they would have some heads up?
Sure. Yeah. Eric, you're in touch with them all the time. I mean,
Yeah, I've been keeping them apprised, but I think something more official would
Sure.
would probably be not a bad thing.
okay. All right. You can do that. All right. The next item is town van dispatch.
Yeah, I can update on this. So as we spoke about most recently, unfortunately, I did have, pretty negative experiences and feedback to share regarding my own personal experiences trying to utilize the town van and having to schedule rides using the third party, vendor, the outside dispatch service that they use. And after our last meeting, I did take the advice of our group here, and I connected with Liz Trediak and shared, what my own experience had been, as well as, expressed that in conversation with others that have used the town van, it does seem to go beyond just my experience, a consistent kind of negative experience people have had. So I offered that, and Liz, responded and said it was very surprising. It was the very first that she had heard of this, and, said that she would bring it up, like take it up with them. And, I haven't heard anything since that time. So I'm wondering, if it's possible to request from the Council on Aging any sort of update or, what next steps might be on that issue.
So I had actually I had a very, very brief conversation with Amy DiMichele, and she said that she was going to as well reach out to the company to have a quick conversation, but she wanted to look at our meeting that we had because I think we had briefly went over it and your experience, and so she wanted to have a little bit of background on it so that when she had the conversation with them, she would understand more fully what your experience had been, and she wanted to watch our meeting and hear what you had to say, and because Sure. She was not privy to what Liz was privy to. So, so she was going to do that. That was just on Tuesday that I had the conversation with her. So I think maybe when she's had an opportunity, I said she was going to try and do it this week, watch our meeting, and then she was going to try and reach out next week. So perhaps we schedule that for our next meeting with, like you said, either Liz or somebody from EHS and see what they've been able to find out. So we can definitely schedule either Liz or Amy or someone from EHS and see if they've been able to get something constructive going on with with that.
Yeah, and if it's helpful for Amy to connect directly with me for any, any clarification on anything, I mean, I'm open to that if that's useful. So just,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell her that too. Okay. So as far as the last agenda items updates, I did send to everyone the information as far as what I was working on. So the first thing I was working on was the member information, and then the second information that I was working on was the grant responses from Jeff, and a couple of the things that he was looking for was obviously our ADA coordinator and our page. So we do now have an ADA coordinator, which is Eric Derba. They did do that at a select board meeting. So he was voted on at a select board meeting. We do now have, it's the facilities/ADA coordinator. So we do have a page, which is at its infancy right now, obviously. But it does, at least have contact information. It has Eric's direct information to get in touch with him. It doesn't have really any other information on it because we are working, we meaning the town, working on, the non-discrimination notices and things like that. So I sent to you the notice of non-discrimination, which anything that we look at today, it has to go before the board and has to get approved because it's not our policy. It would be the select board's policy. So the notice of non-discrimination is a quick non-discrimination policy that, George had worked on. I looked on the state website, and I did see that I didn't pull one of the parts of the wording. So on the second paragraph of it, it said the activities of the judiciary, it should be activities of the town. So that does have to be fixed. But for the most part, it's what the state approves, and anything that the town is finding out is discriminating against anybody in the town, and how we actually are allowing anybody outside to contact somebody from the town who is Eric Derba, our ADA coordinator. So it's a short little quick notice of what they can do if they feel that they've been discriminated against as far as ADA is concerned. And I don't know if you had a chance to read it. It was
Yeah, I read everything there. I noticed that you put in the ADA coordinator, you had George's name down there also.
well, he's on that on the page because he's on, he's on that facilities page because it's a facilities/ADA coordinator. It's on
Okay.
that page, so that's why his name is on there.
Okay.
If Eric, for some reason,
Not that they can contact him and leave a message for
that's,
him.
that's correct.
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I figured it was
Yeah.
when I saw it there, because I know that we didn't have an assistant ADA.
Right.
So that's what I thought. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And then,
Diane, I'll just to weigh in, and I don't want to get a reputation as a, as a complainer. I hope
Yep.
I certainly don't have that reputation, but I'm just opening, to be honest, like my fault here. I'm opening this for the first time, and
yep, no
I
problem.
can't tell if it's a screenshot or what, but it's not something that I can view.
Oh, on the ADA coordinator?
Yeah, like
I
the
just did a
attachment.
I just did a screenshot of our webpage.
Okay.
We do have an ADA coordinator and who he is, and that's our web page that we're gonna
Gotcha. Okay.
start growing and putting.
So yeah, I mean, that said, I haven't been able to review the language, but you know,
Okay.
I did open I mean, and I'm sure, you know,
Yeah, and then,
I'm sure that we have.
the second one is, a complaint and how to do a complaint, and it, you know, it's basically, you send your complaint to, you do your complaint with Eric, and if you're not satisfied, then the second route is going through our assistant, town administrator, and then if you're not satisfied after that, going to the Attorney General's office. So, we
Well,
kind of,
where was Eric before this? Like, Alex was the coordinator before, is that true?
yeah, so he worked in an apartment complex in which he was responsible for all ADA compliance at the apartment complex.
Oh,
So he has extensive ADA compliance as well. I have a feeling that we'll probably name Henry as the assistant coordinator, because he pretty much will be the enforcer,
Sure.
so to speak, you know, because, you know, he'll probably go out with Eric, you know, if hopefully there isn't a lot of complaints, but if there's a complaint, he would be the one that would, you know, do the enforcing.
sure. Does Eric live in Littleton?
He does not.
Why you say Henry would be the enforcer?
Because
Do
of
we,
the,
do we not have that in reverse, that Eric would be the one that calls the shot? And
well, he would be the one that says that yes, there's a violation, and yes, this needs to be corrected. But Henry, being the building commissioner, Eric feels that connection between the two, the ADA coordinator and the building commissioner, is a good connection, because the building commissioner, being not the be-all end-all of building, but knowing what steps he has taken, like in an area, if somebody has supposedly taken the actions that he's supposed to have taken, he or she has taken, then he knows if they have come before him in the past, and so he would be able to go out with him to, you know, so the two of them would be able to, you know, be enforcing everything together.
well, I was just thinking that procedure-wise, as far as the MOD goes, that the ADA is the person that calls the shot on it.
Yep.
And if we need the enforcement, say if it's in the building permit, yeah, I can see Henry there. But
Right.
if it does not involve a permit situation,
Right.
then he calls the shot on that. And if there is some type of structure that needs to be adjusted, fixed, or whatever the case is, then I think that's where he then passes that over as an action part on him as the ADA to the
Right.
building department, for the
Mhm.
building department to call the shot and say, you need to do this because this is in violation.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, in talking with Henry the other day, you heard what Henry said.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I
Very
understand
vigilant.
what he takes very seriously here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to follow the procedure, because the ADA it says that, you know, if things doesn't get rectified at your level there, then you to tell the person to elevate it to the state.
Right.
So,
Elevators, yeah.
I think for us, we would like to try to resolve it at our level, and that
Right.
would be his pass
Right.
to go over to Henry to say, this is the problem we got. We'd like for you to step in and do this. And then Henry takes care and then tells Eric it's all set, and then Eric can advise us back that, you know, where the complaint came from,
Right.
that, you know, this been resolved. I'm just looking at procedure why
Yeah. No, I see what
we
you're
step in the
saying.
right direction.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
So don't worry about
Yeah,
that.
but yeah, we just, you know, and it could just be the fact that he thinks that Henry as well, if he's not there, perhaps Henry would step in as, because he knows ADA,
Yeah.
AAB.
We try to make them as bulletproof as possible, just in case.
Well, I don't have a problem with that. I'm just speaking from the procedure
Yeah,
aspects of, because if we have this guy's ADA, we don't want to infringe by doing something that, you know, that's against whatever, you know, his position is with regards to that. And whereas that Henry is working close with us with regards to that, that is fantastic, and it gives Eric a little bit of a backup in turn if he ever get in a situation where that you got somebody that's really been nose to the grinding stone, that, you know, said, listen, we're going to bring the building authority in on it and put you in a position here where that either you apply or we go to the state on you.
right. No, I see what you're saying, George. Yeah. Yeah, but those are the three things that I, you know, have going on, and would like to be able to go forward and, you know, talk with the select board and, you know, get their approval to, you know, add to our, add to the ADA coordinators page, so that, and then we can add it to our, grant process if, you know, the select board approve it.
Yeah, I think that's the way that Jeff suggested that we do it. So yeah, we
Okay.
just tweak
They've already started.
whatever wording that we tweak there
Story.
and put in place, and then yeah, go over to the select board with the three elements and say we need, you know, your blessing on these three items so that we can make it inclusive with the grant process that we're going to submit here in May of 2025. So yeah, I make a motion that the chair tweak these documents for the proper wording that needs to be in place with regards to the town, because it is a town policy, and that we go ahead and submit it
Okay.
to the select board for their approval.
Seconded.
Mhm. Motion has been made by George, seconded by Eric. All those in favor, George?
Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
Diane's an aye. Motion has been so approved. All right. Is there any other action items that we need to discuss regarding the last meeting?
I think that.
Go ahead, George.
Go ahead, Eric.
I was just gonna circle back, Diane, on the, like that required 1 hour training that, or sort of like sign off that we're all.
Sure,
supposed to
yeah.
do. I didn't know if there were alternate, formats available of that, or if. we
Yeah,
had-
they still, as much as we're supposed to do it, they still have not gotten back to me on anything. So as soon as they get back to me, I will, send you whatever update I can get from them.
Am I at risk of being
No, no, no.
negligent? Okay.
No, no.
Okay. Thank you.
No, the only thing that, I was going to say rather, was that, as long as we get this stuff in and get the select board to, process it, and we put all of it together, I think at that time, then we would, discuss, before the board that we do have everything in place according to what Jeff suggests that, we, need to have in place, and that, the proposal is, chef ready, and that, we, scheduled to, be submitted, in May, for the MOD to, consider it. I just think that, having it in place and knowing that, yeah, we've looked at it and everything is fine and dandy, we all set and we just hold it. And at that time, I would suggest that, we try to, contact Jeff and, see if we can, get a date from him as to when, this is going to open up in May, so we tentatively can, put that date, on the proposal, to be, submitted, and find out, is there a particular attention address that it needs to be sent to? Getting all those particular in place for it, would help, alleviate it being delayed by just arbitrary sending to a address. If he has a particular place where we have to send it, then, get that address, and then, we know we have it going to the right place.
Okay. That sounds good. Um, as far as our next meeting would be in March, can you believe it?
Almost ready, almost there.
Wow. That would be,
See.
Well, we've been doing the second Friday, so
yeah. That'd be the 14th.
yeah.
Let me take a look here, make sure I don't have a appointment. 14th. Okay, no, I got something on the 7th, not the 14th. Okay.
So yeah, I'll re-invite our, well, I'll hold off.
Okay.
Because we're gonna send a letter, but, tentatively, I could potentially invite, if we know everything, from the select board's perspective, is clear and it makes sense to do so, I'm happy to invite Bill and Donna again to the 14th if it makes sense for us. And then, I can certainly send the placeholder invite to us three plus Gary for the time being, and then, just to block off the 12 to 1 hour on the 14th.
Okay. Sounds great.
So this will be at 12?
I mean,
Back
unless
to
you,
12.
yeah,
Unless
unless,
there's a,
does 11:30 work okay for everybody? Or is that a tough one for you, Eric?
Well, I think we all just leave it at the 12.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, it's equally, it's the same for me, either way.
All right, so March 12th at noon,
March 14th at 12.
I mean, March 14th, yeah.
yeah.
March 14th at noon. All right. All right, hearing no other information, we can move to adjourn.
So move.
All right. We hear a second, Eric?
Second, yep.
All right, so hearing a motion and seconded, all those, George,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
and Diane's and I, we are
Happy
adjourned.
Valentine to everybody.
Thank
You
you, you
too.
too.
We'll talk
Thank
to you.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.